Bible prophecy is active and unfolding daily. Zechariah 12, Isaiah 17, Psalm 83, Ezekiel 38. Here is what the LameStream Media is not telling you. Shalom, my friends. Welcome to this week's newscast. From AP, the House of Representatives approved bipartisan legislation last week to block the flow of money to Iran-backed Hezbollah and to sanction the group for using civilians as human shields. The bill, targeting Hezbollah's finances, directs the administration to sanction the people and businesses engaged in fundraising and recruitment activities for the group. Then, one day later, the U.S. House of Representatives voted, that was last Thursday, 423 to 2. Wonder who the two were. To approve bipartisan legislation that would slap new sanctions on Iran for its pursuit of long-range ballistic missiles without derailing the 2015 International Nuclear Accord. Sounds crazy to me. Then from Israel Hayom, Hezbollah is planning to withdraw its forces from Syria next year in order to bolster its presence along the border with Israel. According to the report, Hezbollah's high command issued a new order mandating that the last remaining Hezbollah fighters must leave Syria in early 2018. The first phase of the withdrawal is scheduled to begin in the coming days and could involve 60% of the forces, with other phases spreading over a period of several weeks. Then from Arutz Shiva, in response to the likely threat from Iranian forces in Lebanon and Syria, Israel has announced that it is stationing a battalion of its Iron Dome anti-rocket systems in northern Israel. There is also a battalion assigned to southern Israel to defend against the rockets Hamas had amassed in Gaza. After Iran-backed Hezbollah launched a major rocket attack in 2006 and convinced Israel that Iron Dome was worth developing and deploying, the system was seen as an emergency weapon to be kept in storage and mobilized for use in wartime. It has not worked out that way. Now, I urge you, my friends, don't miss last Sunday's Mideast prophecy update with Pastor J.D. Farag, especially in the second half of his video where he delivers a wonderful banquet of Yahweh's word. Trust me, you will be fed. Just click the link you see below the newscast. I'm maintaining a list of Watchmen down there that you can access under my newscasts in the Read More section below. And I encourage you to click the links, save them as favorites so you can keep up with their reports. Currently, I have 6 Watchmen posted. The list is subject to change, my friends, as I discover new Watchmen who are doing their jobs or as I discover those listed as not performing their jobs. Any changes I make, of course, will be announced here in my personal thoughts segment of the news. Turning to wars and rumors of wars, on Monday, October 23rd, from AFP, at least 10 fighters from the Jaish Khaled bin Walid group were killed by suspected Israeli airstrikes in the town of Sam al-Jolan in southern Syria. Several months ago, 16 fighters from the group were killed in suspected Israeli airstrikes in the same area. The group is estimated to have 1,200 fighters and controls territory in western Daraa province along the border with the Golan Heights. Then on Tuesday, October 24th, From Reuters, Iraqi pro-government paramilitaries launched an offensive against Kurdish troops in Rabia, near the Turkish border. The area is strategically vital because oil from both Kurdish and government-held parts of northern Iraq cross at a pipeline there into Turkey, the main route for international export. Then from Hindustan Times, jihadists from ISIS and fighters from Iraq's Hashed al-Sha'abi paramilitary coalition were locked in fierce clashes near Mosul, with nearly 30 reported dead. Also, Wa'ad Allah forces are repelling an ISIS attack southwest of Mosul in the Hatra Desert. Then on Wednesday, October 25th, from AMN, that is Al-Masdar News, Turkey-led militias in northern Aleppo province have asserted a clear intention to launch an offensive to capture the large town of Manbij, currently held by U.S.-backed forces. A day earlier, the Turkish-backed factions of the Free Syrian Army in northern Aleppo dispersed leaflets saying that Syrian rebels will seize the town of Manbij from U.S.-backed forces, quote, no matter what the cost is, close quote. Turning to our Intifada update, on Friday, October 27th, from the Jerusalem Post, the head of Hamas security forces in Gaza was wounded in an explosion in Gaza City. Palestinian and Egyptian news outlets speculated that Salafist militants carried out the blast in response to a crackdown on them overseen by Abu Naim, who Israel freed in a prisoner swap back in 2011. Abu has been Hamas security chief for the past 2 years. And looking at our review of last week's news, the U.S. House of Representatives approved bipartisan legislation to block the flow of money to Iran-backed Hezbollah and to sanction the group for using civilians as human shields. And then the next day approved bipartisan legislation that would slap new sanctions on Iran for its pursuit of long-range ballistic missiles. Israel has announced it is stationing a battalion of its Iron Dome anti-rocket systems in northern Israel. At least 10 fighters were killed by suspected Israeli airstrikes in southern Syria. Iraqi pro-government paramilitaries launched an offensive against Kurdish troops near the Turkish border. Jihadists from ISIS and fighters from Iraq's Hashed al-Sha'abi paramilitary coalition were locked in fierce clashes near Mosul. Wa'ad Allah forces are repelling an ISIS attack southwest of Mosul. Turkey-led militias in northern Aleppo have asserted a clear intention to launch an offensive to capture the large town of Manbij, currently held by U.S.-backed forces, and the head of Hamas security forces in Gaza was wounded in an explosion in Gaza City. And that, my friends, is what the LameStream Media is not telling you. Abba willing, I'll see you here again next week. Until then, keep your wicks trimmed and keep your lamps burning bright. Shalom, my friends.
Crowded rooms, I need more space than I consume. Enough is time alone with you, underneath a naked moon, sharing confidential moods and making chatter. Mockingbird nocturnal sing eternal things, entering the quantum breeze, flying not for want of wings. He lights his gaze on you and me, simply because we matter.